Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, make sure to hit the like button, share button, and subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. However, if you're watching on X, make sure to just drop me a follow there at LukeTowner257. And, in today's video, I know it's a little bit late, but this is my review of UFC 308, where we saw Ilia Topuria knock out Max Holloway, dropped him and knocked him out to retain his featherweight title. And then we also saw Khamzat Chimaev absolutely maul Robert Whittaker in the first round, dislocating his jaw for good measure with a face crank and basically booking his ticket for a showdown against Dricus du Plessis at some point next year. Also, on the card, we saw Ankalaev beat Alexander Rakic, potentially setting him up to fight Alex Pereira next year for the light heavyweight title. Also, there were wins for Leon Murphy and then Shara Bullet, because I can't pronounce his name properly. So, let's start at the top. Let's start at the main event where, this was a very highly anticipated matchup where we saw arguably one of the best featherweights of all time, Max Holloway, getting another shot against Ilia Topuria, undefeated. We just saw him knock out Volkanovski for the belt. It was what can I say? It was a brutal knockout, the Volkanovski, and everyone was thinking, damn, can Max, be the first one to sort of derail Topuria? And Jamie, shout out to Jamie Phillips, links in the description for his channel, by the way. The fascinating thing was, like, he was saying for ages, oh, Max is getting knocked out. I mean, Cal, like, really? Is he really going to get knocked out? Max has got the chin, the durability. Joe's like, no, once Ilya hits him, then it's going to be, curtains. And I have to say, like, look, I predicted Max to win by head kick KO. And, yeah, predictions for that card, I had a stinker. Luke, stinker, and hooked, basically, because I predicted Whittaker to basically survive a couple of rounds against Khamzat. I had Max to win head kick KO, so I guess I really did have a stinker and hooked. But the reason why I predicted Max to knock him out via head kick is, like, when I saw Topuria's last fight in the promotion he had before he went to the UFC, he did get caught with a head kick that did temporarily stun him, drop him to a knee. And also when he's been in the UFC, he has been caught with the head kick a few times that has sort of wobbled him, discombobulated him. And I just thought, if Max can land a flush head kick, get Ilya a little bit, discombobulated, maybe then he could push the pace and maybe even finish Ilya. However, I was in the mud. I was wrong. And it was a really good fight up until the knockout. I thought, Max held his own. Ilya definitely with the kicks, absolutely kicking the lead leg of Max Holloway. And you definitely saw the boxing style of Ilya, the crisp movement. We did see several times that he was missing with the combinations, but we all said on the watch, I think, I can't remember which one it was, either me, Jamie, or Callum said, like, if he lands one of these combos, because he was just missing like a hair's breadth, and you were just thinking, if he lands that Max is in, Max is in some serious trouble. But and I think it goes the first round wins, and the first round's in the books. I'm just thinking, Ilya, good round from the champion. Max is not out of it. It's just he just needs to make a few little adjustments, and then he can get right back in the fight. And I thought Max did that when he started putting the pace on Ilya. That's where he got the most success. Somehow Max was just chewing up the leg kicks like they were nothing, just like he did in the Gaethje's fight. So durable in blocking the leg kicks. And I thought he really had good success. But obviously Ilya was slowly feeling his way into the fight. slowly, the combinations that were slightly missing in the first round were starting to land in the second round. And I thought Max won the second round. So I thought it was 1-1 apiece. Third round, 1-1 apiece. And I thought, hey, this is going to be telling now, because has Ilya downloaded enough of the Max game plan to know, okay, now we can start to really stick it on him. And I have to say, Ilya definitely took the pressure to Max, and he landed a beautiful jab down the pipe, a beautiful right hand, just down the pipe, really stunned Max, got him up against the cage, and then that's where he basically pressed him, unloaded some beautiful combination. The shot to the body, it was similar to the Jai Herbert knockout in a sense, working the body, working upstairs with the right, but instead he just lands the body shot, and he goes overhand with the left hook, catches him sweetly, knocks Max down for the first time in his UFC career. Statistically, even though that many of us thought that he got dropped against Gaethje. So yeah, Max got knocked down for the first time in his UFC career. Ilya pounced the ground and pound, and then the ref gracefully stepped in, to call an end, and we saw Ilya Topuria, like, hey, his last 2 fights, he's defeated one of the GOATs at featherweight, and then to win the belt, he's defeated another one of the GOATs at featherweight in Volkanovski in devastating fashion. And then you're thinking, wow, this guy, you know, he's top of the division at featherweight. He's been talking smacked about Islam, and he wants to be the first one to submit Islam, Bilal. So like he's really getting his name. He's really elevating. It's a bit of a weird one, really, because we always say, "Oh, the UFC, where's the star power? Where are the stars? The new generation of stars?" But oh my god, the UFC, a big if, because I've been more than vocal about the UFC's lack of, when they've got someone hot, capitalizing on the star. And Ilya at the moment, he is hot at the moment. He is hot, hot, hot. And hey, you want to go to Spain next year? This is the time to go to Spain, to go to the Bernabeu, sell out the Bernabeu. This is the time to do it. Obviously, Volk got into the cage afterwards, and it's looking like that we're going to be setting up the rematch between Volk and Ilya Topuria. And let's be honest, guys, like, don't like it. I don't like this matchup. Not because I think it's a nightmare matchup for Ilya, because I think it's the perfect matchup for Ilya, because I think Ilya is going to knock out Volk again in more quicker, more devastating fashion. But I just don't think it's a fight like anyone wants to see, really. Like, people that's just joining now, make sure they hit the like button, share button, and subscribing if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on X, make sure to follow me on X, at Luke Tanner 257. But yeah, like, let me know what you guys think about a Volk and Ilya rematch. Like, obviously, Ilya said he doesn't want to fight in Sydney, which, hey, you're now the champ, so you can now dictate in some way. You can dictate where you want to fight and not. And him not wanting to do the quick turnaround to Sydney, hey, is fair enough. It's fair enough. But for Volk Lopez, I know why you're going to give Volk the rematch, because he's been like your second longest serving champion behind Jose Aldo. But in terms of what Volk's done, like, Volk's on a bit of a losing streak at the moment, and let's be honest, since he rushed back in against Islam about a year ago, he has not been the same since. Like, I think mentally, he's openly admitting that he struggled mentally, and I just, why take this rematch now? Like, you were set to fight Lopez in February in Sydney for potentially an interim belt. Then you can sort of unify the belts in Spain, would make for a great, storyline. Two champions, whatever. But no, they're going to run the rematch. As long as they don't make this fight anywhere but Spain, they've got to do this in Spain now. And I think Ilya said, like, hey, the UFC said that they're doing an event in Spain. But let's be honest, guys, like, how often have we seen the UFC promise something but not deliver? Does UFC Africa spring to mind when they said that they're promising stuff and not delivering? When you had the three kings in Izzy, Kamaru, and Francis, and you're thinking that's you think that's going to happen. But hey, let me know what you guys think of the main event where Ilya Topuria knocks out Max Holloway and retains his UFC featherweight title. And do you want to see Ilya Topuria versus Volkanovski too, or would you rather see the opportunity being given to someone like Diego Lopez, who was in the crowd watching that fight, but Volk was quicker to the punch, and he's now inserted himself in for that rematch. But moving on to the co-main event, Khamzat Chimaev versus Robert Whittaker. Khamzat's the real deal. Khamzat's the real deal, and there's been plenty of questions over Khamzat since he had that first, when he was pulling out of fights because he had this really serious medical issue, and when he retired because he was struggling with COVID and stuff like that. And since then, he's been very stop-start with pull-outs. His antics when he was supposed to fight Nate Diaz, the antics at the weight and stuff like that. And then he fought Kevin Holland, mauled Kevin Holland within one round, and then he sort of disappeared a bit because he's been suffering with some serious issues. And I think it was like his son was suffering with issues as well. So he's had a lot going on, and to be honest, and plus he had that majority decision against Kamaru Usman where, let's be honest, guys, like, he didn't put in a good performance, and I thought Kamaru may have edged that fight, or at worst, it would have been a draw. But he came back, and we're thinking, hey, Robert Whittaker's going to be his toughest test of his career, of his UFC career. The only natural middleweight he's fought in the UFCs was GM3, Gerald Menshaft, where he knocked him out with one punch, 17 seconds. We're thinking, shit, Robert Whittaker. You know what Robert Whittaker brings to the party? Could Khamzat shoot for the takedown straight away? But hey, my God, he went in there, stood on the ground for a bit. The second he shot for the takedown, the way he just shot for the takedown was like a bullet out of a gun. Just shot for the double leg straight away, got Robert Whittaker on the ground, and basically had his way with him until he submits him with a face crank. And people, I saw people online afterwards, and we even said on our watch along that we did for the event on the Sanderson Show, was like, that's a hell of a quick tap, wondering if he snapped his jaw or something. And lo and behold, the images come out that his jaw got snapped. Well, his teeth got pushed back, and was thinking, shit, that's a serious injury. But then you see Rob afterwards breaking it down, saying that he's had that type of issue for years, and that's where he grows the goatee out to hide the fact that his jaw is swollen because he's got a metal plate. But yeah, Khamzat's a savage. I just hope that he's got all his medical issues behind him, because this guy is a problem. And I am now so glad that we did not see Nate Diaz versus Khamzat Chimaev, because I think we could have had a death in the octagon. Because I think Khamzat would have battered Nate Diaz. And hey, look, if there's one person that should be feeling a little bit shit that Khamzat won, his name's Robert. His name is Sean Strickland, because I know Dana went, hey, Strickland, Duplessis 2 for the title. But Dana said that week, hey, if someone puts in the hell of a display, then, things are up for change. And I don't know what you think, guys, but would you rather see Duplessis versus Strickland too, or are you rather wanting Khamzat versus Duplessis? And I think we all know what we really want to see, which is Khamzat versus Duplessis. But whether or not that will happen, the whole visa thing needs to get sorted out. Why he can't fight in the USA is a bit of a concern. If you want to put the belt, you want to strap the rocket on him, and if he can't fight in America, then that's a big problem. I know Dana went and said that, oh, Hamzat's been over, he's been to the UK, not been to the UK, he's been to the US, everything's fine. Yeah, it's all right going to the US, but is he not, like, can't you get the commission to let him fight in the US? Is there a particular reason? So if that gets sorted, then he will be fighting for the belt next. And look, does he beat Duplessis? Based on this performance, yes. The one thing that is still the biggest question mark over him is that gas tank. Because obviously he's had the serious issues, he's had the serious medical issues, and you're just thinking, because this was supposed to be a 5-rounder, and I was really intrigued to see what he would be like in deep waters at the moment. Would he sink or would he swim? Obviously, he's left nothing to chance. He's left nothing for the judges to really do, and he's just decided to finish it real quick. Him versus Duplessis. Look, do I think Hamzat wins it? Yes, I think he does. Does it last longer than a round? I should hope so, because if he mauls Duplessis like he mauled Robert Whittaker, and he's already said, "Hey, I want to jump up to 80." He wants to jump to 205. He said he can cut to 70 if he can get a title shot. Could we potentially have the first 3-weight world champion in the UFC? Because I know the UFC are desperate for some fighter to do that, to have that record, because that record has been done elsewhere in other promotions. In ONE FC, you have had a triple champion, a triple weight world champion. I know it has been done in other, well, it's been attempted in other promotions to have a 3-weight world champion, simultaneous 3-weight world champion. And if you're looking at the options, because the UFC petty, Dana's petty like this, and you're thinking, if I had to pick a fighter that could make that happen, you're probably thinking 2 fighters to be 3-weight world champions. Alex Pereira, if he fights heavyweight for the belt. And based on this current format, it would be Khamzat Chimaev, because hey, him versus the winner of Bilal and Shavkat, are we saying that we're not interested in that fight? Because I am. Are we saying, Khamzat versus Alex Pereira, who he's called out a couple of years ago, or are we saying that we're not willing to see that fight? The real striker versus grappler matchup, which would be so intriguing to see. But as for Robert Whittaker, I don't know where this defeat leads him, because he is in a very tricky situation, because he has fought anyone, anytime, any place, anywhere. He is running out of opponents to fight. Yes, could he fight Imanov? Yes. Brihalio? Yes. Could he take an uppercomer again? Like, could he take a Shara Bullet fight? Potentially. But we know that Robert Whittaker said that within 2.5 years he wants to bounce. He's 34. Says he wants to be done by he's 36. Completely understand that. He deserves to finish his career on his terms. So he's very much in the Israel Adesanya position. Like, what does Robert Whittaker want to do? Does he want to regroup? Does he want to go for another push towards the title? Is that even possible now with the way the title picture at 185 is looking? Does he see a way where he only needs a win to get back into the title contention? So it's very much up in the air for Robert Whittaker. For me, take that time. I don't think we'll see him Sydney, just based on the severity of that jaw, that dislocated jaw. Like, do not expect to see him back on the Sydney card. which would be a shame because there's going to be no Volk, possibly. There's going to be no Volk, potentially no Robert Whittaker. So the Sydney card needs to have some banging fights because we're lacking a bit of star power here, boys, especially with those two out. Just take a sip of this. So let me know. So let me know, guys, what you think about that. The co-main event, Khamzat Chimaev, mauls Robert Whittaker to basically make himself the number one contender for Duplessis' middleweight title. And let me know if you guys think he can actually become the UFC's, first ever triple champion. But moving on, moving on to Ankalaev versus Rakic. How do I put this in politeful terms? This was a shit fight. This was a very shit fight. Where for me, Ankalaev did enough. Did enough to win. It wasn't a pretty performance. You could definitely tell that Alexander Rakic, that knee injury he suffered against Blachowicz, that knee injury has really changed him because he is not the same fighter as he was before he got that injury because he looks gun shy. He looks like a fighter that is scared to push that accelerator pedal on because he knows his knee's fucked. And he knows that if he pushes the pace, he's got that psychological fear that, oh crap, my knee's gonna go. And that's a big problem. Like if he wants to fight at the highest level, that is a massive problem for him. But for Ankalaev, look, he just did enough. Dana said, like, look, he can get the title shot if he puts in a good performance and if he wins. Okay, he's got the win. He's now 13 fights unbeaten. Was it a vintage performance? No, I thought the performance was pretty bad. In terms of the spectacle, like, look, like, I know, like, for casuals, it probably was a terrible fight. In some aspects, for us watching it, it wasn't a great fight. It wasn't a very technical, masterclass between the two. Like, we weren't seeing tactical game plans being worked on. It was basically Ankalaev just wanted it a little bit more than Rakic. And, Ankalaev, he cannot be denied another shot at the belt. Even though Jamal Hill's, come out and said that performance sucked. And, yeah, performance wasn't great. But, mate, you got knocked out to Alex and you're still sleeping from that KO. And Ankalaev does deserve the shot, even if I don't think he's my favorite fighter to watch. I do believe that he is worthy of a title shot. And hey, look, like this will happen probably first part of the year because did Ankalaev really take any damage, guys? Did he really take any damage? No, not really. So, but as for Rakic, I don't know. Maybe Dominic Reyes if he beats Anthony Smith, possibly, or he fights another up and comer. But it'd be very interesting to see what they do with that one. But let me know, guys, what you think in the comments. Like Ankalaev, does he deserve, to have his date with Pereira? And who does Alexander Rakic, fight next? He's now back to back losses now, 3 losses in a row. So he's going to need to, pick himself up in his next fight. But let's move on. Lerone Murphy, Britain's only Lerone Murphy versus Dan Ige. What a fight. What a fight. Both men left it on the line. And I have to say, Lerone Murphy, you're a lucky boy. You are a lucky boy because he was, for my eyes, if he would have lost that fight, no complaints. Because I thought Dan Ige was superb. I thought he came in looking sharp. He busted Murphy early. Murphy came out, swinging. I just think, maybe Murphy just did a little bit more in the third round to really take it away. from Ige, and Ige fought with a with someone that was pissed off we didn't get the fight at UFC Noche, like he was promised. If people don't remember that, Dana said that Ige would have a shot at UFC Noche because he saved the card for the UFC, where he stepped in on literally hours' notice to fight Diego Lopez, and he was afforded with not fighting on UFC Noche, which was very, very, very much a shame. But as for Lerone, look, it wasn't a vintage performance. He had to dig deep. He had to dig deep for the win, and all credit to him. But where this leads him, he called out Josh Emmett, which is a good fight. He's definitely progressing up the rankings, because I believe like this fight didn't really do much for his rankings, really, because I think Ige was about 14th, Lerone was about 12th. So this didn't really do anything ranking wise. It just solidated his ranking. Now he's looking up to division, and Josh Emmett for me would be just another step up of that level for him, and be very interesting to see if Murphy is at that world title level. And he's got the skills. I just don't think he's quite there yet. There's just something about his game I'm just not 100% convinced on. I thought he had some very good moments. I thought he had good grappling exchanges with Ige. I just thought the striking could be a little bit better. I thought his durability was good, never gave up. But I still think there's just a few things that he just needs to work on. But hey, Josh Emmett will be a hell of a test. We saw how Ige was busting him up, but we saw how well Murphy busted Ige up, because literally Ige caught him with Murphy caught Ige with a jab, and like literally his face, like the blood just bounced off his face because it was such a hard shot. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Did you think Lerone Murphy won that fight against Dan Ige? And what do you think of a potential Emmett versus Murphy matchup? Makes sense for this division? Makes sense for both fighters? Let me know in the comments below. But I'll just touch on the last fight on the card. Sharaputin versus Petrosan, with one of the most innovative knockouts of the year. A double spinning back fist. Absolute class finish. When we were watching it, I think I briefly just looked down to check something on my phone. And I missed it. I was like, shit, I've missed it. And I just think, oh, hey, okay, when it shows again, I'll be able to have a proper look at it. And I was like, fucking hell, you didn't quite catch it with the other ones, or just spam with the other ones. We went, Jesus. Tuxedo mask. You look like Haley Joseph. Tuxedo, I've got no idea who that person is, but very much appreciated for the comment. I've got no idea who that is. No idea who that is. But yeah, Sharaputin with one of the most innovative knockouts of the year so far. And he called out Israel Adesanya, who, let's be honest, wasn't particularly pleased with that call out. And to be honest, it's not even ranked. And you're calling out Izzy. So it'll be very interesting who we gets. That fella must be handsome if he looks like you, Luke. Oh, thank you very much. He played the boy in Sixth Sense. I'll give it a look. And a couple of emoji. Yeah, so Shadow Putin guys, like, who do you think? Because Dana said like he's ready for a top 5, top 10 guy. Like, yes, he may have got the knockout. But I don't think his overall performance was good. and against the wrestler, he's in big trouble. He's in big trouble because his striking wasn't crisp or clean. Who's on my MMA Mount Rushmore? Does this include men and women? How many is Mount Rushmore? Is it about 4, isn't it, for Mount Rushmore? For Mount Rushmore, isn't it? Is it the 4? GSP, Anderson Silva. If we're not including women in it, then it's Mighty Mouse, and I'm gonna have to. Oh, it's such a tough one, really, because I'm gonna piss someone off in the comments. Mount Rushmore. It's not about achievements. So if it's not about like achievements on the Mount Rushmore, McGregor. McGregor, Jones, Ronda. McGregor, Jones, Ronda, and Anderson Silva. I guarantee they've pissed someone off. It's depending on what you put like what you're basing your Mount Rushmore as. If you're rating it as like icons and stuff like that, but be very interesting to see what you guys think about that. But who, like, let me know what you guys say in the comments. Like, who's on your Mount Rushmore? Your MMA Mount Rushmore. McGregor, Jones, Ronda, GSP. Yeah. Yeah, hey, he's definitely up there. It just depends. Like, if you talk about like what they've done for the sport, then look at what McGregor's done for the sport of MMA. Really put it really mainstream. Look what Ronda did for the women. Look what Ronda did for like the women. Like, look, like Dana didn't even want women to fight in the UFC. So I'm sort of glad that that's been done. Bass Rutten, Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. When Jamie and Callum are back on the channel, I will ask them who their Mount Rushmore is. So, something's wrong with my computer. Yeah, shout out to everyone that's watching. Make sure to hit the like button, share button, and subscribe button. And if you're watching on X, make sure to follow me on Twitter at LukeTanner257. Yeah, so we'll stay on for about another 10 or so minutes. So any questions, fire away. Do you know what? Some more videos will be coming out this week. I am determined to be more consistent, as I say so every bloody time, and we always fail to be consistent, but we will try next. So the UFC this week in Edmonds will be legalizing 10 to 6 elbows and a new definition of a grounded opponent. So that'll be on the UFC Edmond card. I literally never see you stream, bruv. Yeah, I know. Like I'm in like where I am, like at like my work and stuff like that. Like I always say, like I need to stream it at least a couple of times a week and like supplement that with uploads. But you can catch me like on the Sanderson Show on Tuesday night. So I think it'll be Sanderson Show tomorrow. I do pop up on other people's like football streams and stuff like that because I do like my football. Like I am a Liverpool fan, so I do pop up on the odd football stream. But I am determined, like for this channel, like for this community to grow, I really need to be like getting out good content, more watch-alongs, better quality videos. Get some interviews on this channel as well because, Like the last interview I had was Colin, who's the MMA professor, Colin Crandall, the MMA journalist. It's like the last person I interviewed, and then before that, the first person I actually interviewed was like first person I interviewed was the UFC heavyweight Chris Barnett, which is on the channel here. That's been like a year, 18 months ago. I used to stream UFC illegally back in the day. Did you really? That's pretty mint. That I used to stream UFC illegally back in the day on a website called Justin TV, which turned into a Twitch that had 30,000 subscribers with also like 4 million views in 6 months. Yeah, because that's. Did you do the trick where you pretended to play it as well? Like you pretended to play, and everyone thought, "Oh my god, is he actually playing UFC?" But no, you're actually watching it instead. So it's pretty mint that. Yeah, so it'd be very interesting to see, you know, the event this weekend. I don't know whether you guys have seen like no, this was back in 2004, 5. Jesus Christ. Wonder what that's doing now. Is it still on 4 million now, or do you think that's gone up? So I'm just like scrolling through Twitter as you'd know, because I said like, look, like Ilya, Volk ain't gonna be happening to Sydney because we're getting an event in Spain, baby, in España. I just seen Kamaru Usman think that they should book Conor versus Ilya, like descending to the moon. A stadium in Spain, he becomes the next Conor McGregor. Is what Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo said on their podcast today. And like, I'm gonna have to break the news to you. He should not be taking that fight because the fight for McGregor, yeah, you're fighting McGregor and it's red panty night. It's a payday, but this ain't. No, the channel got blocked after 3 cancellations after Zuffa emailed me. Then Justin TV permanently blocked me. Oh right. Oh dear. Yeah, so like I have to say, like, with beating McGregor for Topuria, sending to the Rocket, like, has beating McGregor lost his shine? Yeah, and yes, I got an official letter from Zuffa saying, please stop streaming our pay-per-view content. Impression of Sus McGregor pulling up to a Diddy party. What's up there, yeah, son? What the fuck you doing back there with that oil there, Diddy? You better fucking keep that short away from me, son. You're not touching me with that baby oil. It's not great. I've sort of the McGregor accent. I need to sharpen up the accents a little bit. Yeah, you're me number one in the world, yeah. You're not the number one with a baby oil, yeah. Absolute fucking fury of a team. No, Diddy, I will not bend over for you. Absolutely fucking not. You stupid tick. I'll knock you out. I'll knock you up with a bottle of baby oil, my friend. Yes, accent's crap. Apologies for that. You had to listen to that. Apologies, that was crap. Thoughts on Guru's opinion on? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen his opinion. I don't know. I can't answer. Like, I do watch his streams. Like, if I do watch his streams. He streams at an ungodly hour. But he is probably, as much as I do think that he does do stuff to deliberately piss people off, which I kind of like, to be fair. But I just don't know what his thoughts and opinions on them are. Do some shows when you review old UFC pay-per-views. That would be good. Yeah, I could do that. Could definitely do that. Like any like content ideas, like you guys are more than happy to like message them to me, Twitter, DM me on Twitter and stuff like that. I'm always looking to do stuff to really, elevate the content. I am doing boxing stuff as well. I may touch on Eubanks Jr. versus Canelo talks, restarting again, and why that fight is a fight that no one gives a shit about. Like, no one gives a crap about Eubanks Jr. versus Canelo. Just as like no one gives a crap about Conor Benn versus Eubanks Jr. Like, Canelo, just fight Benavidez for fuck's sakes. Just fight Benavidez. And do not entertain Bivol coming down to 168. Because Bivol will nick your belts off you. Whatever he does, do not. No way. Just seeing like Leroy Murphy was speaking to Ilya in the locker room ahead of UFC 308, and he was counting his money before going into the fight. Jesus Christ. That's cold. Hey, Dustin Twitter wanted Max or Topuria. He's 4-1 against UFC featherweight champions. You know who that one loss was to? McGregor. Before he even got the belt, to be fair. Damn, Islam Makhachev's got more Instagram followers than John Jones. Jesus Christ. And who gets Fighter of the Year now, guys? Like, who gets Fighter of the Year? Is it Pereira or is it Ilia Topuria? Let me know in the comments, because it's a tough one. I wish Islam smashes Topuria. Hey, when that fight happens, that fight's going to be a banger. That fight is going to be a banger. Will that fight happen? I'm not too sure. Just don't think the stars are going to align in that way for that fight to happen. I just don't think it will, because Islam's running out of challenges at 55. Islam's running out of challenges at 55. And Ilya's got to do a lot of work at 45. Thoughts on Israel-Palestine? Don't really get political, but I think what Israel's doing is an abomination. Personally, that's all I'll really touch on about it. Why don't you think that match happens? Why I don't think it will happen? It's because Ilya hasn't done enough at 45 yet to warrant moving up. Yes, he has beaten Volk and he has beaten Max in devastating fashion. Like, I don't know whether or not you tuned in earlier. Like, I am not happy that they're running back to Topuria versus Volk. Like, I am not happy whatsoever. Volk does not deserve the rematch. Because it wasn't a close fight. He didn't lose by split decision where everyone goes, he may have won that fight. He got finished. Topuria should be fighting Lopez and then fighting the winner of Evloev Sterling afterwards. You know, fresh contenders. And once he's fought a few more contenders and wins, that's when you should jump up to double champ status. For me, that's my personal opinion, because I'm getting a little bit pissed off. I'm hearing fighters before they even grab hold of the belt, or when they've just grabbed hold of the belt without even defending it, they're talking about going up to another division before doing any like work at the division where they've got the belt on. And that's the thing that annoys you the most. So that's what Ilya's got to do. With Islam's a different story, because Islam Makhachev has been doing work. Because Islam has been doing work since he's gotten hold of the belt. I'll just pull up who he's been fighting recently. Because I'm saying that because of featherweight. I'm saying that because of featherweight to do something again. Mozart. If this isn't a political channel, why are you talking about Islam? I'm talking about Islam Makhachev, the UFC lightweight champion. I'm not talking about Islam as in like the religion. I'm talking about the UFC light weight champion. Imagine the fights the UFC can create in the coming years. Yeah, absolutely. But it's whether or not the UFC want to make them happen. That's the killer. That unfortunately, Woodley's feet. That's the killer. Do the UFC want to make these fights? Because for me, they seem very reluctant pulling the trigger on some of them. Like they were very. Like think about all the fights that we have missed. Like what we have missed out on. Like big up, big up, Luke. Thanks, CJ. At featherweight, who could beat that Ilya? That's the $1 million question. That's the $1 million question. Fat Shed Guru, MMA Guru. I'm not MMA Guru. The setup is not the MMA Gurus. Oh, what? Who could beat Ilya? MMA Guru? No, MMA Guru could not beat Ilya Topuria. There is no way he could beat Ilya Topuria. He's got no training whatsoever. All right, I get it. We have to use the code word. Okay, what do you think of the UFC fighter named Judaism? You what mean Makhachev? I'll just call him by his last name if that's what you prefer. Makhachev, you're better than the MMA guru, the Truth Teller 7. Well, I very much appreciate it. I have a long way to go to even get close to him number wise, but you know, if we just get the consistency, he's younger than me. That's the thing. Like, MMA guru is younger than me, which is crazy. We're like a year apart. I watched him when he had like less than 100k, and the fact that he's just blown up like a snap of a finger is insane. Pull up the UFC rankings. Numbers do not make him better. Yeah, that's true. That's true, but it's his consistency. It's literally his consistency that puts him up there. Something that you know that I need to aspire to be with that level of consistency. Future UFC goats incoming. A few I've got potential to be a Hashev. Matchups depending. Are you a Nina Drama fan? No. She offers nothing to the space. She offers nothing. And yeah, I just don't think she offers much. She is a definition of an industry plant for me. Like I had no idea who this person was before. Yeah, I know she does that. I know she does that, and that's why people like her. I don't find her content that interesting. I don't even watch her content. I used to follow her on Twitter, but I just think, yeah. I need to watch some of the earlier fights to check out the new talent, getting a bit of the ball with all the wrestling. Yeah, but I think they're going to counteract that because I don't know whether or not you guys have seen like they're really legalizing the 12 to 6 elbows. Luke, where's the super chat button on your channel? I don't have one because I don't have enough subs and I don't have my watch time up high enough. So I think you can only super chat at about 500 subs. I believe it's that or 1,000. So I don't have enough subs. And I don't have enough watch time for super chats. But that was going to be the big aim by the end of this year. But I just don't think that will happen. That to get the channel monetized next year is going to be such a big goal. I'm going to be pushing that hard to get this channel monetized next year. That's been a lot of work. We've got 12 to 6 elbows for GTA 6. Yes, that's true. We've got 12 to 6 elbows before we got GTA 6. Big facts. Big facts. Big facts. Yeah, Nina uses his juicing. Yeah, she does. But you know, her content has got you know, but I say it's got some use, but I just don't know. Don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think. Like, I may start like keeping like watching some sort of some Cage Warriors, like other promotions, because to see where the new talent's coming from. Ilya versus Aljo. Who wins? I've got Ilya. I've got Ilya. Aljo's. I know Aljo's got the longer reach, but his striking is so basic. Like, all Ilya's got to do is just slip under, boom, 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 bam, done. That's it. Take a card, put it on your bed where you sleep. You can only move that card if you stream that day. Until the card stays, reset it every day. You're welcome. I have a full-time job. I can't afford to do that. I've got to keep the lights on. I've got to keep the lights on the house. As much as I'd love to do that, I'd have to keep the lights on. There will be a couple of videos out this week as well. No, I lie. There'll be 2 videos out this week. One boxing, one MMA. You can go on the dole. Do you know what? I probably make more money doing that than my actual job at the moment, to be fair. Like, I've got more chance of making money doing that than actually staying in my job, to be fair. Tuxedo Mask. Your country is... Yeah, that's true. Yeah, our country sucks. The UK is finito. John's Bones has a chance against Aspinall. He's got a puncher's chance. That's it. He is finitoed. He is finitoed, and yes, obviously we'll be doing content preview for UFC 309 Jones versus Miocic, the battle of the pensioners. Doing a preview with Callum's brother, Calvin, who is John Jones's #1 fan. So keep an eye out for that within the next month or so. Yeah, so the plan is, can Jones take down Tom? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I could definitely do that. But I think Tom is just too quick. It's too quick. Tom's wrestling is no joke. He actually got a grappling game, unlike a certain Cyril Garn who's got 0 grappling. You see that? 0 grappling skills. This better not turn into the Great White Hype. Hey, Osman, what do you mean by that? Right, let me know what you mean by that. A shout out to everyone that's watching, by the way. Make sure to hit the like button, share button, and subscribe button. I don't know where I'm up on subs at the moment. I'll probably check that in a minute. But if you're watching on X, make sure to subscribe as well. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Jamie Phillips and Sanderson Show. Links are in the description as well. And follow my Twitter at LukeTanner257. Oblique kick from Jones can blow the knee of Tom. Yeah, an oblique kick from any fighter, if landed correctly, can blow out the knee of anyone. Just ask Bakauskas versus Khalil Roundtree. Oblique kick to boom, blew his knee out, and Bakauskas got cut off the back of that fight. There's a movie, Tom Aspinall Jones fight. Yeah, would be a movie if that actually happens. But I've got a feeling that'll be down as one of the fights that the UFC failed to pull the trigger on because John Jones is a pussy. If Hamzat can gun pack properly, he'll become a massive UFC star. Absolutely. If he can get past these health issues that hopefully, fingers crossed, he has successfully beaten his health issues, because apparently he was struggling to finish training sessions and he was coughing up blood in training sessions and stuff like that. And plus, he went back to like his old wrestling coach. Went back to back to the old school stuff. So, which probably made the best decision. He probably made the best decision for himself. So yeah, absolutely. I'll Google The Great White Hype. It's a comedy boxing movie. Yes, I will do. Yes, I will do. Oh, boxing on this weekend. Okay. No, do not say that. Everyone beat up Jones until they get into the cage. Yeah, back when. Okay, when that was happening, John Jones was, dominating at light heavyweight and stuff like that. But this ain't the same version of Jones. It's just not. It's just Jones is not that guy anymore. One, father time. Two, for someone that said he took 3 years out the bulk, he looked like that he just ate and got a beer belly against Cyril Gane. And let's be honest, did anyone think that Cyril Gane was beating John Jones? Did anyone? Even the biggest John Jones hater in myself thought Jones was beating Cyril. The only concerns was how would Jones be speed-wise at heavyweight? Hey, the Twitch chat, why don't you love Aspinall? What is it about Aspinall that you don't like? And you don't love Topuria. Why don't you love Topuria? Let me know in the comments. Let me know why you don't love Topuria. Very interesting to know. Going for nearly an hour. TNT Sports. You know what? I may do a boxing watch on this weekend. I'm a bit undecided yet. How would everyone feel me? The boxing Liam Davis versus Jabaz Masood this Saturday. TNT Sport. A tuxedo. I'm like, come on, keep it respectful, yeah. Like, they look arrogant. I could definitely understand the Topuria one. Like, he comes across the arrogant aura, but it's they look arrogant, but they back it up. Like, they back it up, and that's what I like. Like when Conor McGregor was at his prime, he was arrogant, a lot of stupid tattoos. And to be honest, I'm not a big tattoo guy, so I can understand what you mean by they've got stupid tattoos. But with regards to the comment, like they look arrogant. It's all good looking arrogant, but they're backing it up in the octagon as well. Like, think about Conor now. Conor's still mad arrogant, and he's on the piss, and he's on the drugs, and he's still mad arrogant. But everyone knows it's like, yeah, you're doing that because you're just not that guy anymore. But when Ilya is talking his when Ilya's talking his shit, and then he's putting in performances like what he did against Max and Volk, then you can sort of understand he walks around with a chip on his shoulders. And let's be honest, like, can you really blame him? Would you be, not showing a bit of arrogance if you just knocked out 2 of the biggest featherweights of all time? Like, think about the champions that the UFC have had at featherweight: Aldo, McGregor, Holloway, Volk, Ilya. That's a fucking lineage of that belt, just quality. And even though McGregor never defended the belt at 45, he was severely people underrate. People are like, don't give that run enough credit. Should be more arrogant. Sorry, man. Hey, Tuxedo, I have seen you in the comments before, so I'm gonna say that's a one-off. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. Just don't do it again. Like, the comments, as long as the comments flows, everyone's respectful, then that's when we get a good time, good chat, good banter, good talk. I think that's what's needed, really. I'll probably do another 5 minutes. I'll probably do another 5 minutes, and then I gotta go to bed. I gotta get up ready for work tomorrow. At least let your opponent respond at the press conference. Yeah, I don't like that when they're interrupting. You don't get a proper back and forward. So I can understand that. Can definitely understand that. What's your MMA Mount Rushmore? I think I said Jones, McGregor, Silver, and Ronda. Because it's either GSP or Anderson. That's the one that you could easily take out. But everyone's Mount Rushmore is going to be different. Mine's like what they've done for the sport. For me, like Conor really put MMA, stuck a rocket on it, and poof, it's going heights the way it's gone because of McGregor, because of that featherweight run. And obviously Ronda, look what she did for women's MMA in the UFC. Like Dana wouldn't be entertaining this if it wasn't for Ronda coming through the way she came through. Pause. So yeah. So yeah, I'll probably go for another couple of minutes and then I'll wrap it up. I'll put from another chat. How many chats have you been banned from? I'm not gonna ban you from the chat. If I see a comment like that again, then I'll put you on the timeout. And then if you do it again, then I'll ban you afterwards. But like if you say sorry and that's it, then hey, we move on. It's fine. Just make sure it just doesn't happen again. Ban him. No, I can't. I have to give people the benefit of the doubt. I have to. But if I think everyone knows the score. Like if it's not respectful, and if it's if it's rude, like I'll put you on the timeout. So this is how it's going to work. You can tell he's a troll. Well, if he puts in another troll comment, then he'll get timed out. Ilya and Ian wait interrupt their opponents. Don't say that. Yeah, Ottoman. If he messes up again, then boom, he's done. Then that's if he messes up again. If he does, then he'll be done on the channel. A shout out to 20 people, the people that are watching on X and on YouTube. Can we get a 30-minute analysis on Drickus versus Hamzat? Not tonight, no. Just because I'm literally about to wrap up. But we'll break it down if that fight gets announced. Just won't break it down now. Because I have to do a bit of research where I do some big analysis. And then Ilya said he's not happy with the 50k bonus. Oh, be lucky you got a 50k bonus, my friend. You'd be very lucky because how the bonuses are still 50k, God knows. Bonuses should be at least like 100k. But hey ho, it is what it is. Everyone that's tuned in, we're going for about an hour and 5 minutes. Everyone that's tuned in, make sure you hit the like button, share button, and subscribe button as well. Make sure that you subscribe to Jamie Phillips Football Chats, the Sanderson Show. Links in the description as well. And everyone that's tuned in, a massive thanks. Like, it's about 5 past midnight here in the UK. Everyone that's tuned in, a massive appreciation. We are going to try to get some videos out this week, boxing and MMA. Possibly there might be a boxing watch along this weekend. Possibly. Have to see how things work out, but that could possibly happen. There'll definitely be one MMA video and one boxing video out this week as well. You can see me on the Sanderson Show tomorrow night for Combat Catch Up, which will be myself and Callum. If Callum's not busy, then that will be happening. So make sure to tune in for that. Yeah, and just keep an eye out on the channel for any videos for any videos and live streams that will happen this week. But thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Peace.